this. The words, change the tense and a few of the words. The message is exactly the same because it shows they were and they still are right. This was delivered on Ernie Carruthers Day, September 18th, 1975, when a huge party, hundreds of people came to Ernie Carruthers Farm the day before they were to be finally thrown out of their magnificent home. She wrote this speech. This is the first time most of you have seen this farmland. Days ago, there were milk-producing cows here, farm machinery here, abundant crops. All this will sadly be a thing of the past. The lands the federal government wants to destroy are Class 1 agricultural, the very best. Only 11.8% of all agricultural lands in Ontario are Class 1. Have we all taken leave of our senses to continue to permit it to be paved over? No, not all. Some care enough to commit themselves. I don't know that she knew it was going to be 40 years, but anyway. Last spring, hundreds of people from Toronto and all over Ontario signed a petition stating that because of their deep concern about the destruction of farmland, they were prepared to sit in front of the bulldozers to prevent Pickering Airport from being built. Getting in the way of the bulldozers could be construed to be civil disobedience. To my mind, she wrote, civil disobedience has already been committed by the politicians and bureaucrats who are forcing an unwanted airport on the people of Ontario.
Yes. I'm needed.
To my mind, the money that is being poured into Pickering should be used to the benefit of the many rather than the few. Sounds like Occupy, doesn't it? It should be spent on housing, health services, and the retention, not the destruction of farmland. The airport and Newtown were thrust upon the people by two governments with no public consultation. Our federal and provincial representatives were briefed just hours before the decision was made public. The Reeve of Pickering Township heard the news on his car radio. Is this the Canadian way? I think not. Shame! The Canadian Pacific Railway crosses the site of the first runway. More people will have to be expropriated, more good land destroyed, and it will go on as roads are built, services provided, and farmland becomes something the developer. Hey, Bill, and Mike, it's Canada
Back
again.
here. Hey, buddy. It's also a really important flyway.
And these are the guys that flew with the geese. And farmland becomes something the developers use rather than the farmer. And here's some prophetic words. Toronto will sprawl out of control. I beg you, this is still Isabel, I beg you with all my heart, please help us stop this airport. You can. You are citizens and have the right to be heard and heeded. It is your money they are spending, your land they are stealing, your children's food supply they are jeopardizing. Please give us your help. Commit yourself when the time comes to preserve this house for history and to make sure these productive acres can continue to produce food. Join us. Now, most of you know the rest of the story, but for those that don't. While the party was going on, 3 women, and only a handful of people knew this was happening. 3 women, where's Anne? 3 women, Frances Moore, Brenda Davis, and Anne Howe. They moved into that house. It was the original Occupy Pickering. The house they moved into, the magnificent Bentley Carruthers house, was built by the brother of the man who built this house. It was just as fine. It was just as magnificent. It was just as loved, and it was just as lived in. These were not abandoned houses. They are houses the government will not let people live in. There's a difference. Woo. Today it stands boarded up and empty, not abandoned, and it has no heritage protection from the federal government, and is just a demolition order away, a signature on a piece of paper from being demolished, bulldozed, like so many others. 100 houses on the demolition list this year, ladies and gentlemen.
Shame!
Like Isabel 40 years ago, we ask you to join us in saving these heritage houses. houses and these critical food lands. The coffin we carry is a tribute to all of those processions that Pop held so long ago. They always had coffins saying things like Mother Nature and the names of the communities that were being lost and destroyed. Our coffin we've turned into a planter. How appropriate. We consider the airport to be dead, and we consider the airport lands to be the good, rich, fertile topsoil, 3 feet deep of Class 1 farmland of North Pickering. And we've got seeds of hope planted in the top. For now, please join us back at the Brome Hall. We are going to commit some civil disobedience right now. We are going to cross the road en masse. The police were supposed to be here. They didn't come. Nobody get killed, please.
Who owns the house behind you? Who owns the house behind you?
Right, well, the federal government owns all the houses here, and the
Why
city
don't we
of Pickering.
bulldoze it?
The city of Pickering is renting it too. Thanks to the city of Pickering for renting some of these houses.
The Rouge Park is in there now.
Oh, I wondered, there's lights on in there.
Well, they've been generous.
Let's celebrate saving this land and keep it going.
So, let's want to get down there. We're going to put young Connor is going to go. We think this is the highest point we can make here. She's going to carry the torch. We're going to go back to the hall, and when we get settled in there with our guests of honors at the head table, that's when we will meet some of these people, our Plains folks, and have a party. Hey, Connor, if you'll follow.
Well, Bill, should we block traffic?